Hey, the BeerBiceps guy brings you TRS clips. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon. I want to end the podcast by asking you your three quickest pieces of advice from the Bhagavad Gita because I know you've mentioned it a lot in your book. So, what do you have to share about the Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah, so I'm going to share three verses. So one of the first verses that I absolutely love is better to follow your own path imperfectly than to follow someone else's path perfectly. And I think this verse is the embodiment of the disease of comparison we see in the world today, that we start chasing something because we see someone and we think, okay, I want that too. You know, if I was honest with you, bro, like I love football, like soccer. Football is my like life. I love it. Like if I could have been Cristiano Ronaldo, I would have loved to have played football. But I noticed very early on that I didn't have the work ethic or the talent to play at a professional level. And so being honest with myself has allowed me to create this life that I have today. But if I keep trying to lie and trying to do that, you just get lost. So that's the first piece of advice from the Gita. The second piece of advice, which is the famous quote from the Gita, is your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I think learning to befriend your mind is the most important skill in life, because whether you want to develop habits, whether you want to become successful or happy or joyful, if you don't know how to befriend the mind, you'll struggle. And so in the book, I have a whole chapter dedicated to befriending the mind. And the third and final verse that I would share or message is that ultimately it's all about service. It's all about devotional service. And when we find a way to serve, whether we're an accountant or a lawyer or a business person or an engineer or what me and you do, if we can find a way to serve and improve people's lives, then we'll be truly happy and successful. See, if you just have things, you may be successful but not happy. And if you're just happy inside, then you may be happy but you won't be successful. But when you do something you love and you serve people through it, you can be both happy and successful. And that's the goal. The goal is to be both. You don't have to choose. And so those would be the three messages from the Gita.